Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before I get started with this monthly favorites video, I just want to give a warm welcome to my new subscribers. Over the last week or so, I believe one of my videos, my hooded eye video, must have become like a suggested video on YouTube because I have gotten a lot more subscribers in the last week, and it's fantastic. And I'm so happy that so many people really loved that video and that YouTube promoted it so more people could see it and it would help them. To be honest, I am a little bit overwhelmed with all the comments. They are making me feel a little bit of that kind of I'm not worthy feeling, and it's strange. And I wonder if it's just because I went so long without my videos being noticed or getting any attention, and then when something does and people are giving it all this positive feedback, I almost feel like it's a mistake. Like, wait a second, that's not my video they're talking about. It can't be. So there's a little bit of that going on internally with me right now, so bear with me. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome. So I'm pretty consistent with these monthly favorites videos simply because I love doing them. Even before I had a YouTube channel, one of my favorite things to do is to tell people about products that I've discovered that I really like. Throughout my career in cosmetics, people have always asked me, Risa, what's your favorite foundation? What's your favorite primer? What's your favorite this? And of course, my favorites will often change because I'm always trying new things, but I just get excited when I find something great or when I find something not so great. I get excited and I want to tell people about it. So I actually look forward to doing these monthly favorites. So usually I mostly cover makeup, but this month I have like some body products and a hair product. So let's get right to March favorites. So I just realized I have quite a few Nars things to show you. This concealer is the Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I have Light to Vanilla. I bought this when it first came out back in December. Now, I don't know when it hit Sephora. I think it's only been in Sephora recently, but I was visiting Los Angeles like the end of December, like Christmas, New Year's time, and I was at the Nars boutique on Melrose, and the sales associate told me that they had these, they were brand new, and they were only selling them to pro members at that time. So I'm a pro member, so I was able to buy one. And I remember I used it that night. My husband and I went out and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a great texture, great coverage. And then I don't know what happened to it. I misplaced it. Like I could not find it. I looked all over and I just thought, well, I'll go back to using my Tarte Shape Tape or whatever other ones I use. And so about 7 to 10 days ago, I was looking through my kit, my freelance kit, the one that I take to clients, and I found it in there. So I was really excited. So I started using it again, and I do have it on today. A lot of these favorites you'll see on my face today. As you can see, it comes in a pot, and it is just like it says, a soft, matte finish. It isn't heavy at all, and I find that concealers that are too creamy and too heavy, you can have two different issues with those. You can have issues with when you use them as an under eye concealer with the lines, with them sinking into lines or just looking heavy, or if you're using a concealer on the face, if they're too greasy, they just don't have great staying powers. But for this one, it's excellent for the face and for under the eyes. It goes on so smoothly, it has fantastic coverage, it doesn't settle into my fine lines. I've not stopped using this since I found it, and I will continue to use it. I think I would say it is my current favorite concealer. And then also from Nars, I am loving this blush. It is called Liberté. I guess it came out like over a year ago, either in a spring collection or a summer collection, and I never even heard about it. I don't recall seeing swatches or anybody talk about it, but it is a beautiful blush. I do have it on now. It is a matte apricot, and like most Nars blushes, it's pretty pigmented, but it's not one of those where if you just touch the pan and then touch your cheeks. I always tap off my excess, but if you were to go right from the pan to your cheeks, it's not so pigmented that you'd instantly be like clownish. You can definitely get a softer look with this, and it is so beautiful. I'm so glad I came across it. Now, I did just do a whole video on this Nars Loaded palette last week, so I can link that somewhere in this frame, but I'll show it to you once again in case you haven't seen that video. This is the new Nars Loaded palette. I am absolutely loving this, and a lot of you guys asked for a tutorial using this palette, and I promise you that is coming up very soon. So since I don't normally include fails in my monthly favorites videos, I wasn't sure if I should just put them at the end, and I only have two, and they're not really fails. They're more like, they're more like something that I'm really not that excited about. I thought I would be more excited about it, but I'm just not. So I wasn't sure, once again, if I should put it at the end or incorporate it into the video. I'm just gonna incorporate one of them right now. So I thought since I was already talking about Nars, I would talk about this now and then show you my favorite, because this is, like, again, it's not necessarily a fail. I just wasn't very impressed with it. It is the Pore and Shine Control Primer. I picked this up when I bought the Loaded palette because I had heard good things about it. I think it has pretty good reviews, but I didn't find that it did much, especially once I started using this, which is the Stay Matte Makeup Primer from Rimmel. This is their mattifying primer, and I did notice a difference with this one. I didn't notice much difference in pore refinement or shine control with this, unfortunately, but this one, so if you want a dupe for this pricey, I think this one is $36. This one was probably around $7 or $8, and it works really, really well. Probably one of the best mattifying pore refining primers I've ever tried. I put it on and it gives the same type of effect as like Porefessional from Benefit. It just softens out the pores, really fills them in. But I did notice my makeup went on so nice after I used this, and I was still shiny because I will never not be shiny. But this definitely got me a lot further than most other primers do as far as the time it took for me to get really, really shiny. So I highly recommend this one. So this is not, again, necessarily a fail, but it's kind of like a meh. But then again, maybe it is a fail because it really didn't do much. And for $36 plus tax, we do want a product that actually makes a difference, right? So yeah, I guess it is actually a fail. So moving on, I placed an order with Charlotte Tilbury a couple weeks ago. Usually I order all my Charlotte Tilbury from Beautylish, but this time I wanted to get, everybody been talking about this Pillow Talk lipstick. If you've seen my videos, my older videos, I have a couple reviews of Charlotte Tilbury, my Charlotte Tilbury collection. Just a review was one of my very first videos, was a review of Charlotte Tilbury's products. I had a much smaller stash at that time. Anyway, this Pillow Talk lipstick, Pillow Talk liner, is one of her original lip liners, and it's been my favorite since I bought it. I've had it for quite a long time. It's a universal shade, goes with anything. It's more for a light to medium skin tone. Darker skin tones, I don't think it would work that well. You might want to go for the iconic nude. But anyway, the Pillow Talk lip liner, one of my favorites, such a good product. And Charlotte came out with a Pillow Talk Matte Revolution lipstick, but that was only available on her website, her charlottetilbury.com website. So she has the Kissing formula, the Matte Revolution, and I think the Hot Lips are a different formula. I've tried them all, they're all so good. This Matte Revolution, again, this is called Pillow Talk, is the perfect My Lips But Better color. It is a soft matte, so it's not drying at all. It feels so good on the lips. Now, the only thing is, it is limited edition and it might be sold out. I remember seeing, and I will double check for you. I'm so sorry if it is sold out, but you can probably find it on eBay. Maybe, I think it's also at her makeup counters. So if you can get your hands on this Pillow Talk, it is absolutely beautiful. And the reason why I say I think it's sold out is because I received an email from Charlotte Tilbury's website maybe about a week after I purchased it, and it said, you know, that it was going fast. It was almost sold out. So if you can get it, definitely do. I highly recommend it. And then I also picked up this lip gloss in Sweet Stiletto. Now, I've mentioned in other videos that I don't believe her lip glosses are worth the price because it's a very tiny gloss for 20 some dollars. But I saw this color on another YouTuber and I thought it was so pretty, and I have a cosmetic addiction problem, and I felt like, well, I'm already placing an order, I might as well throw in something else. So this is Sweet Stiletto, and I do have it on right now. It is like a rosy pink. It's very glossy, and it's just sticky enough that it has some staying power, but not so sticky that it feels like glue, and if the wind blows, your hair is gonna get stuck to it. So if you are a fan of Charlotte Tilbury's lip products, but maybe you haven't tried a gloss and you're not sure what color to get, and you are drawn to these types of colors like I am, then Sweet Stiletto is a good one to pick up. So next up is my self-tanner. I've had a couple of people ask me in videos what tanner I use. I haven't used any in the last couple days, but in several of my previous videos, like maybe in like my January, February videos, I was a little bit more tan, and I mentioned that I had been using a self-tanner. And the one I use is actually this one from Kardashian Beauty. It is the Instant Sunless Mousse 1 Hour Color Development in Medium to Dark. It is the mousse pump, and I purchased it at Ulta. I have no idea what happened to my cap. So I know some of you are probably thinking, ugh, Kardashians, I won't support them. I do realize they're a very polarizing family, and sometimes people are very turned off by influencers and YouTubers that use Kardashian products or Kylie Jenner products or what have you. And the only reason I purchased this product is because it came so highly recommended by someone who works at a nightclub here in Las Vegas. No, I am not someone who frequents nightclubs in Vegas, but I have been to them, and if you have as well, you know that the girls there are always very tan, very made up. They know, a lot of them know what they're talking about when it comes to beauty because they have to look a certain way for their job. And being tan is one of them. And they don't want to maybe go get spray tans constantly, and they certainly don't want to go to the tanning beds. And you know, I think most people know now how bad tanning beds are and laying out in the sun. So self-tanners, fake tanners, whatever you want to call them, have become increasingly popular in the last 7 to 10 years. I have tried so many over the years, from your drugstore brands to your Sephora brands. So one of the more recent ones I've tried, and I had used it in the past, was the Saint-Tropez. I think I got like the darker version this time. I had run out of this, and I thought, everybody's talking about this Saint-Tropez one being so amazing, so I'm gonna go get that one instead. It was around $44, $45-ish, and I didn't find that it performed any better than this one. I actually think this one performs better. I got a darker tan. I love that this one, I can't remember if that one was tinted too, but I did end up returning that one and went and repurchased another one of these because it is tinted, so you know where it's going when you apply it. It has no smell when it goes on. It does end up having like a little bit of a citrusy smell after a couple hours, but I find that any tanner I've ever tried, whether they're supposed to be scent-free or not, they all smell. So once again, just to let you know, I am using the medium to dark, and I also did use the medium to dark in the Saint-Tropez. So if you're wondering why I got more color from this one, if maybe it's because I got a darker one in this, no, I got the medium to dark or deep in both, and this one gave me better color. And I would say this tan lasts me about 5 days. And I actually also like it better than Loving Tan, which I paid for with my own money. They never sent it to me. I bought the 2-hour express and I loved it, but I found that when it faded like lizard skin. So my skin looked actually scaly when the tan would fade. And I just thought that was so odd because it's never happened to me before. And I tried it several times. I mean, I finished the bottle, but then I went right out and bought more of this one because this product does not do that. It just fades nice and gradually with no scaly lizard skin. Last month, I talked to you guys about the Lanza trauma treatment that I am still loving, but this month I wanted to share with you another product for damaged hair that I have seen such amazing results with, and I have to thank a viewer for the recommendation. I really should have written down who it was so I could give them a shout out, a public thank you for recommending this product. Now, I have talked about it in other videos, but I don't believe I put it in a favorites video. I know I spoke briefly, very briefly about it in my hair tutorial video that's a couple weeks old. But anyway, this product is the Milkshake Incredible Milk Leave-In Treatment for all hair types. I know I've snapped about it, so if you follow me on Snapchat, you've seen me talk about this endlessly. But my hair has never looked or felt better. I think the combination of the Lanza trauma treatment and then spraying this in before I blow dry has almost completely healed my hair. It's starting to grow. It blows out so nicely and smoothly. I mean, I still get some frizz, but my hair overall feels much healthier, much stronger, silkier. I am just so happy with this product. I know I've thanked her in the past, the person who recommended this to me in a comment, but I can't thank you enough. If you're watching, comment again so I can publicly thank you. So aside from that Nars primer I showed you earlier, I really only have one other fail. And I'm not sure this product would be a fail for everybody. It's a really nice product. It's just something that I had hyped up a lot more in my mind. And when I got it, I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm not that excited by it. And what I'm referring to is the Benefit Galifornia. I was so excited to get this blush, and it really is beautiful. But a couple things about it made me a little less excited. Number one, it is not as pigmented as I thought. Well, first of all, let me say, I think it smells amazing. It really does smell like sunshine and flowers. I really don't know how to explain it, but it's like a light perfumey scent, but it's not, I'm sure some people absolutely hate it because that happens with any fragrance, but I don't know, it smells almost like a peachy floral. I really do like the scent, but I thought it would be way more pigmented. So this is a swatch with me really picking a lot up on my finger. So if you don't have that kind of pressure, like with a brush, and I never use a little brush that comes with it, but when I would use just my regular blush brush, I just didn't get the pigment I was looking for. And it's very glowy because it has that golden overspray, so it does have a little bit of a glow to it, which is nice. I think this is definitely gonna be great for someone with fair skin, but if you are anything darker than say maybe like an NC20, you will have to, and you want your blush to show up, well, you're gonna really have to pack it on. So that was my first issue with this. It was way more sheer than I anticipated. And then my second issue, which kind of makes it a dud for me, or at least just not worth spending the money on, is that there are so many dupes for it. So the first dupe that comes to mind when you hear peachy pink with a little gold shimmer is probably Nars Orgasm, right? So I went and grabbed my Nars Orgasm and I'm gonna swatch. So Nars Orgasm is definitely lighter and less coral, but for some reason I can layer this to make it more noticeable than I can with this. This just takes several go rounds to get it to show up on my cheeks, whereas with Nars Orgasm, I can go into the pan once or twice and get the color I'm looking for. Now maybe it's just me, but I have to definitely go into the pan several times to get this color to show up on my cheeks. Now this right here is Nars Deep Throat, which I think is a much better dupe. And on my skin, those two colors looked exactly the same. I actually did put Deep Throat on one side and California on the other. You could not tell the difference, but California had a little bit more of that golden sheen because when you build up that product, you build up more of the sheen too. So it just gets glowier and glowier. So it's kind of like less color pigment is deposited, but more of the gold sheen, if that makes any sense. So overall, if you want a really light, glowy coral look, then you'll love California. But if you have a little bit of a darker skin, I would probably pass on California and go for Deep Throat, or even that blush I showed you earlier, Liberté. So that's it for my March favorites and fails. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I love to know your thoughts on the products I show you. And like I said earlier, I love your recommendations as well. If there's something out there you guys think I should try that I would love, let me hear it. I'd love to know about it. You can also follow me on my other social media, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. All of those things are Risa Does Makeup. Thank you guys again for watching. It means so much to me, and I'll see you guys in my next video.